Hey, man, what are you doing? Hey, they let us in here. Videotape this.
War, corruption, politics, the very things that are meant to control civilizations have spawned a form of rebellion so powerful that it can be heard by all nations. That rebellion is reggae, a music genre designed to be a weapon for all the unheard voices of the oppressed. The creation of reggae music was inspired by its messages of love and unity in times of great political corruption and oppression. The success of these qualities has brought reggae music to America, but what are the positive influences it has on American music and culture?
We have to understand that music is very important as a cultural form of expression, that, it's very significant in articulating the ideology and the worldview and the opinions of everyday people in the community. And it's been especially important for enabling the voices of the marginalized, the poor, etc., in the society. With reggae music, you have now an emphasis on the downbeat, and you have more attention in terms of the content of the songs, more attention to the African roots. Music as a form of political and social commentary, I would say that's one of the most distinctive features of Caribbean music across the whole region.
This song is called Freedom by Vanessa Kwai. Her song Freedom touches upon how the whole world needs freedom, and music is the way to spread the freedom. In her song, she writes, quote, "Freedom in the Pacific, freedom in Asia, freedom in the Middle East, freedom in Europe, freedom in Africa, freedom in America," end quote. What she means by this is that having freedom in one country is just not enough. It needs to be universal freedom in all areas across the world. People across the universe need to be on the same page to achieve this goal of freedom. Later in her lyrics, she writes, quote, "We don't need fights in the world today. What we need is each other. Love and peace, and the friendship is our dignity," end quote. American culture is in much need of love, peace, and friendship. With the continuous issues we have with the Middle East and other countries near and far, there needs to be more emphasis on peace, love, and friendship. Reggae music does a fantastic job of continuing to advocate for these things, which is exactly what American culture needs.
What was important at this time was the emergence of a Rasta consciousness through music. Rastafarianism is a syncretic religious form or spiritual form in the Caribbean that is rooted a lot in Marcus Garvey's ideology and in an Afrocentric ideology. There's an association also with the Old Testament and the themes of, Israelites being enslaved, and the quest for freedom, etc., that is very meaningful to people of African descent who had, the history of slavery, and even after slavery was abolished, ongoing anti-African sentiment. So what's happening with the Rastafarians is they're very significant in rejecting Eurocentricity and rejecting colonialism and the things that are associated with colonialism, such as, the emphasis on capitalism and the exploitation of people for the maximization of profit and that type of thing.
Environmentalists for decades now have had problems with getting the word out about global warming and other environmental issues. This has been an ongoing trend and quite frustrating for many environmental activists because it seems no one is listening. Although, there are thousands of scientific articles stressing that the environment is in great danger, yet millions of people are still in denial. There's no voice bigger than music. Reggae artists in America have begun to advocate for the environment, including Jacob Hemphill and the band Soja.
Tell us a bit about like what the album is all about.
Well, the album is basically about, a lot of the previous albums have been about one thing or another. So the one before this, Strength to Survive, was mostly about the environment. And the one before that, Born in Babylon, is how do we take the first, second, third worlds that we have in this world, how do we create one world, right? So it's all a first world. And this one, Amid the Noise and Haste, is saying amid all this noise and haste of economy and class and environment and everything that we have going on, maybe there's an easy solution in there somewhere. Maybe the thing we've been doing is using physical solutions. So if there's the war in the Middle East, we send weapons. And if there's a problem with the environment, we plant trees. And while all these things may make sense on the surface, maybe the real problem is underneath.
Yeah. This whole thing is our responsibility. You know, because it's a reggae album. In America, people don't really take reggae that seriously. It's kind of like a gimmick music where you listen to it if you're at the beach or like on vacation or something like that. So, and our record is not about the beach or vacation. So we were really happy to be taken as a serious band in our own country.
Do you know why it happened? Do you have any idea why people are receiving it so well?
I hope to believe that it's because people are starting to realize that the world is dying and that humans have the possibility to save themselves, and we're not doing it right now. There's no global environmental force. There's no talk of things like that. The only talk is of how much more can we consume, how much less can we pay for it, and how much quicker can we get it, which is how you kill yourself, whether on a small scale or on a large scale.
It is a well-known fact throughout America that the 1% have a much bigger and influential voice when it comes to politics. Is it fair? No. But what can be done? The 99% don't have that kind of money or power. Therefore, they need a voice of their own. Many American reggae bands use politics to fuel the fire in their music, such as Tribal Seed.
I pull from, politics, like how corrupt it is, it just gives me a lot of fire to put in the music, so I'd have to say just real life, just inspires me to write music.
Reggae has emerged from a context of oppression and reflects the lifestyle and sensibilities of black inhabitants of urban ghettos. The worldwide acceptance of reggae provides evidence that the power of music to influence political and social change is not limited to Jamaican society, but is something more fundamental and universal. In America, reggae music addresses the issues of racism, oppression, environmentalism, political corruption, war, women's rights, and freedom. Reggae music in America is overlooked in the sense of importance to American culture. Reggae music provides a voice to the unheard and oppressed and continues to be a voice of reason and power. For those who are on the short end of the stick when it comes to the corruption of politics, they will continuously look at reggae music and reggae artists as an extension of their voice. While the environment cannot speak for itself and environmental activists are ignored, reggae music will continue to be a voice for both of them. The positive effects reggae music has on American culture is incomprehensible. For the sake of the oppressed Americans, it needs to continue at this rate.